Today I'm going to discuss module 4 single stage amplifiers. In that I'm going to discuss common source amplifier with active load and CMOS implementation of it and high frequency response of an common source amplifier. Now see, this is a circuit diagram of common source amplifier, okay, with resistive load. See this one here, load is resistance RD, so that it is a common source amplifier with resistance load. Replace load resistance with constant current source I, so that it will become common source amplifier with current source load. While why it is called as common source is input is applied to the gate, output is taken from the drain, source is common to input as well as to the output, hence the name common source. And at the place of RD, current source is there, hence it is called as common source amplifier with current source. Now I am going to move to write AC circuit of this one. How are we going to write the AC circuit of this one? We have to make all the DC sources 0. Here there are two DC sources. One is VDD, other one is current source I. How are you going to make VDD 0? By connecting to ground. How are you going to make this current source 0? By open circuit. After doing all these things, the AC circuit of this one is like this. If we consider channel length modulation or finite resistance of the MOSFET, R0 will be coming in parallel with Q1. Whatever the input voltage Vi is applied to the gate with respect to the source, hence VGS equal to Vi. Applied voltage will be converted into current, that is Gm into Vi, because MOSFET is transconductance amplifier. It means that it will convert voltage to current. Now I'm going to replace MOSFET with low frequency hybrid pi model. This is the circuit diagram. So this is the gate, this is the source, this one is the drain. Okay, now Vi is applied to the gate with respect to source, so that Vi equal to VGS. Applied voltage is converted into current, so that output side it is represented with the current source of magnitude Gm into VGS. This is the current source, means current source should have the resistance in parallel, so that is represented with R0. Now V0 is taken across the R0. Upper side is positive, lower side is negative. But this is the gate current Gm into VGS, it is moving like this, so that the current flowing through the R0 supposed to be upper side. If it is upper side, current entering is treated as positive, leaving is treated as negative. If you compare this polarity with the V0 polarities, it is opposite, so that V0 equal to ID. ID is nothing but Gm into Vi, okay, into R0. So V0 equal to minus Gm into Vi into R0, so that AV0, voltage gain of common source amplifier with current source load, AV0 equal to A0 equal to V0 by Vi, that is equal to minus Gm into R0. This minus indicates there is 180-degree phase shift between output and input signal. Gm R0 is the intrinsic gain of the MOSFET. Why it is called as intrinsic? The gain of the MOSFET alone without any external component. Hence it is intrinsic gain of MOSFET. Now let me see the input impedance. Because of the open circuit between gate to source, the input impedance is infinite. Across the open circuit, the resistance is infinite and output resistance is R naught. Next, let me see the CMOS implementation of the current source I. This current source is implemented using P MOSFET. Why we should take the P MOSFET? Input is applied to the gate of N MOSFET Q1. Output is taken at drain. We have to implement this one using MOSFET. Which MOSFET? P MOSFET. Why? Because it is directly connected to VDD. So that, okay, the current source is implemented using P MOSFET. So that's the source potential of the P MOSFET always more. Now this is implemented using like this. Now I'm going to connect one P MOSFET that is called as Q2 and its drain is connected to output and source is connected to VDD and here it is gate. So that the potential across the from gate to source or source to gate is called as VSG. Why it is called as VSG? Source potential is higher, gate potential is lower. Now, in order to supply the source to gate voltage for the Q2, I have to connect one constant current source. In order to make it constant current source, that MOSFET is supposed to be working in saturation. How are we going to make the MOSFET to work in the saturation? Just to connect the drain and gate together so that it will ensure that this MOSFET is working in the saturation and acts as constant current source and it is biased with the I reference current source. So that this I reference is the current flowing through the Q3 and voltage between source to gate of this Q3 is VSG and the same voltage across the source to gate of Q2 so that this I reference will be reflected into the Q2 depends upon W by L ratio of Q2 and Q3. This is the CMOS implementation. Why it is called as CMOS is this load part is called as P MOSFET and input part is called as N MOSFET. So that it is the combination of N MOSFET and P MOSFET as the name CMOS implementation of common source amplifier. Now let me move into the analysis. First, let me write the VI characteristics of Q2 P MOSFET. This one is the I and VD characteristics of P MOSFET. So that initially it is 0, VD is 0, it start increases and it, okay, this is the point where it will differentiate triode and saturation region of Q2. This side, okay, this side it is triode region, this side it is saturation region and the I reference is the current fixed by the voltage between source to gate VSG. Okay, there is a small finite slope in the saturation so that it will offers the finite resistance, that resistance equal to R02 and slope equal to 1 over R02 and this is the minimum voltage required to make to PMOS to work in the saturation and triode is VSG minus PTP, that is called as V overdrive 2 of Q MOSFET Q2. Now I am going to interfere or coincide the ID VD characteristics of Q1 and PMOS Q2. Just I am going to start this instead of 0. I am going to start at VDD and reflected or mirrored so that it will be coming like this. Now the PMOS characteristics will start at VDD and this, okay, the point of intersection is A. Here it will move like this. Now let me see this. If it is VDD, so that this voltage is called as VDD minus V overdrive 2. VDD minus V overdrive 2. Now similarly for N MOSFET, okay, this is the beginning of the saturation. Before this one, okay, this MOSFET is in Q1 in triode region. This side it is saturation. Just see here, this side is the saturation of Q1, this side is the triode of Q1. Similarly for Q2 triode, this side is saturation. Now I am going to plot the voltage transfer characteristics of, okay, CMOS implementation of the CS amplifier. Now from the previous diagram, you know that it is output, okay, you can write it. Voltage transfer characteristics is output voltage versus input voltage VI. Okay, output voltage is the VDS of NMOS Q1. Input voltage is the input voltage applied to the gate of Q1. From the previous diagram, we can, okay, if you draw, okay, from the point, so that output voltage VDD, as long as VI is lesser than VTN, it means that the NMOS in cutoff. NMOS means Q1 in cutoff. Okay. Now once the VI becomes VTN, VI becomes VTN, the output voltage slightly starts decreases and it moves to the point V, where the output voltage is called as VDD minus V overdrive by 2 is the second segment. In the second segment, the Q1 in the saturation, Q2 in triode region between A to this point. Now I will move to the, okay, now I will move to the A to B, where the transition happened from A to B, means output voltage decreases. This region is called as, okay, both the MOSFETs working in saturation, both PMOS and NMOS. Once the input, okay, output voltage becomes lesser than VOB this side, so that here it will be reversed. It means that Q1 is triode region, Q2 in saturation region. Okay. Now I will move to the analysis part. I have to calculate voltage gain. Voltage gain of the common source amplifier. Generally, it is called as resistance in the drain divided by resistance in the source. Negative sign must be added because there is a 180-degree phase shift between input and output. Hence, okay, the negative sign is added, so that the resistances in the drain is R01 parallel to R02. R01 is the finite resistance of the Q1. R02 is the finite resistance of the Q2. If you write the AC circuit, those two are in parallel. That acts as drain resistance of Q1. Now, resistance looking at, okay, resistance looking at source of Q1 is 1 over Gm. Here, if you look at the resistance 1 over Gm, so that you can write it, the resistance in the source is 1 over Gm. So that finally you get minus Gm into R01 parallel to R02 for the common CMOS common source amplifier. Now, if you take R01 equal to R02, so that these two equal resistances are connected in parallel, so that the effective gain, it will become minus Gm into R01 by 2, which is called as half of the intrinsic gain, where intrinsic gain is the GM into R01. Output resistance is the R01 parallel to R02, which is high. Okay. Here we don't consider the body effect because body of the Q2 is connected to VDD, body of the Q1 is connected to ground, so that both source and body are in the same potential as signal ground. So no, okay, issue with the body gate effect, so that we don't consider the body gate effect here. Let me move to the problem related to this. Okay, now this is the problem of, okay, CMOS implementation of common source amplifier. First, let me calculate GM1. GM1 equal to square root of 2 Kn dash divided by W by L of 1 into I reference. For substitute, we'll get 0.63 milliamperes per volts. R01 equal to VAN, that is nothing but process technology voltage for N MOSFET Q1 divided by ID1. So that ID1 is 100 microamperes, can be written as 0.1 milliamperes, that is equal to 200 K. R02 is VAP divided by ID2, 10 volts divided by 0.1 milliamperes, that is 100 kilo ohms. Finally, AV equal to minus GM1 into R01 parallel to R02 will get minus 42. Any doubt? Let me move to the next. High frequency response of one common source amplifier. Now, common source amplifier with, okay, current source load can be written like this. If you write the AC circuit and I'm going to connect the load RL. Across the RL, V0 is taken. This is the AC circuit of common source amplifier with RL load. Now I'm going to replace the MOSFET with high frequency model. High frequency model means we have to include the capacitances with low frequency model. Let me explain you. Okay, here see, from here to here there is some capacitance, but from gate to drain, CGD. Okay, next similarly there is one more capacitance from gate to source, so that gate to source CGS, voltage across that one is VGS. Now there is a CL called as, very simple, with the drain to body capacitance of Q1 and capacitance, input capacitance from the succeeding or next stage has to be considered. That capacitance is called as RL. Now R0 is the channel length modulation resistance, finest resistance of the, okay, MOSFET, so that these two are in parallel, so that the effective value will be RL dash. Now applied Vsig will be converted into current source. There will be a current source, okay, from drain to source, because MOSFET is transconductance amplifier, means it will convert voltage to current. Okay. Now let me go to the analysis. First, using Miller theorem. Okay, Miller theorem is used whenever there is inter-electrode capacitance between input to the output. Here the inter-electrode capacitance is CGD. The CGD can be, okay, included in the input side or output side. That contribution will be there in the input side as well as output side, and its input side is only considered. So that Ci equal to Cm is the Miller capacitance into 1 minus A, where A is the low frequency or midband gain. Midband gain of this one, V0 by VGS or Vi equal to Gm into RL dash minus, because it is common source, minus of minus, so that CGD is the Miller electrode capacitance into 1 plus Gm into RL dash, so that the input to contribution of CGD is CGD into 1 plus GM into RL dash. Now I am going to write single pole transfer function of high frequency response V naught by Vc equal to AM divided by 1 plus S over omega H, where AM is a GM into RL dash. RL dash is R naught parallel to RL. So that higher cutoff frequency FH equal to 1 over 2 pi. What is the resistance here? Or C. What is the capacity? These two are connected in parallel. So that Cn equal to CGS plus CGD into 1 plus GM into RL dash. This is using Miller theorem. Next, using open circuit time constants. In open circuit means we have to use all the capacitors to calculate higher cutoff frequency. Okay, open circuit time constant means whenever you are analyzing one capacitance, other two capacitances must be open circuit. Now the resistance seen by the CGS is called as RGS. So that here the resistance RGS, while calculating, we should make Vc equal to 0 so that it acts as short circuit. The resistance seen by the CGS is RGS, that is equal to Rsig, so that its time constant become CGS into Rsig. Now we have to calculate resistance seen by the CL. We should make Vc equal to 0. Once we make Vc equal to 0, VGS also 0. If VGS equal to 0, the current source is also 0. If current source is 0, let me see what is the resistance seen by the CL is RL dash. RL dash is nothing but R not parallel to RL. Now resistance seen by the CGD, we cannot calculate directly. We have to replace that capacitance with the current source. The current source Ix is moving left to right. The voltage across that one is current leaving always positive. Entering is negative for voltage source or current source. So that current leaving is positive, entering is negative for voltage source, so that it is represented. Now just you see the Ix is moving like this, so that current entering is positive, leaving is negative. Just to compare this one with VGS, polarity is opposite, so that VGS can be written as minus, because of opposite sign, minus Ix into Rsig. If you apply the KCL here, incoming current Ix equal to two outgoing currents. One is GM into VGS plus the current flowing through this one is like this. Outgoing current I consider current entering is positive, leaving is negative, so that the voltage across this one is VRL dash. So that VRL dash by RL dash. VRL dash is this voltage equal to this voltage plus this voltage. So that VRL dash equal to VGS plus VX divided by RL dash. Substitute VGS equal to minus Ix into Rsig here. Ix equal to GM into minus Ix into Rsig plus here plus you should get here plus typing mistake is there, plus minus Ix into Rsig plus Vx by RL dash. Okay, now you take the Ix terms into left hand side and take the X common. 1 plus Gm into Rsig plus Rsig divided by RL dash, that is equal to Vx by RL dash. Vx by Ix is nothing but RGD, that is equal to RL dash into 1 plus Gm into Rsig plus Rsig divided by RL dash. Okay, now I will take Rsig multiply RL dash and I will take Rsig common. Rsig into 1 plus Gm into RL dash plus RL dash. Why I am writing like this is the contribution of Rsig in the across the CGD is 1 plus GM RL dash into Rsig plus RL dash. Those two are connected in series, so that these two are added. Now FH equal to 1 over 2 pi CGS into Rsig, or we can say that R in plus CL into RL dash plus, okay, CGD into RGD. Okay, finally substitute all the resistances, we'll get this expression. This is the higher cutoff frequency due to open circuit time constant. Now let me go to the problem. Okay, first I should calculate overdrive. Substitute in this expression, P overdrive equal to 0.16 volts. GM equal to ID divided by V overdrive by 2, 1.25 milliamperes per volts. R01 18 kilo ohm. VAN by, see here VAN dash is given, so that we have to substitute for the VAN. VAN equal to VAN dash into L. Why we have to multiply here? The voltage will be volts, so that here micrometer is there. We have to multiply with L to remove this part. So that 18K. Similarly, VAP equal to VAP dash into L. Will get like this. RL dash is the, because in the for the CMOS common source amplifier R01 and R02, so that you get 9.82K. AM equal to minus GM into RL dash 12.3 volts. CN equal to CGS plus CGD into 1 plus GM into 86.52 farad. Due to now we calculate Miller equivalent, we'll get 184 megahertz. Okay, now let me move to the next part. Okay, open circuit time constant. Calculated RGS is RCG same, RGD equal to this much, so that okay, tau GS, tau GD, tau CL. You add these things and calculate. Okay, finally we'll get this 137 megahertz. Any doubts? Thank you.